So, the slogan here at the Deep Gripping Reality podcast is that it's about to get deep. Today, I'm going to dive into something pretty deep that might be a little out there, especially since I usually talk about business and sometimes politics, that sort of thing. But today, I'm talking about spiritualism. I'm talking about part of what I think is important for mental health and emotional wellness, and that is meditation and prayer. Now, this is not a huge religious thing, but I've prepared something I think you might enjoy. So here's the deal. I've always been kind of a spiritual person. I've always been kind of looking for clarity within, that sort of thing. But none of that really matters for what I want to talk about today. Today, I want to talk about connecting with your soul self. Now, this is a concept that I first came to understand and start contemplating when working with Constance Mesmer. You should check out her YouTube channel if you haven't. And she's a spiritual teacher. She's fantastic. But I personally started trying to meditate a lot, and sometimes I would pray and mix meditation and prayer, but they're not necessarily the same thing. They can be intertwined, but they're not necessarily the same thing. And I would pray to the angelic realm. I would pray to spirit. I would pray to God, and I would pray to my soul self. And sometimes I would get very clear answers. It's called clairaudience. It's where you hear things psychically, which is just communicating with your soul. But I had a while there where I was just seeing nothing, I was hearing nothing. So I wanted to try something a little bit different. I wanted to try something called vibroacoustic therapy. And what that is they have a special bed that you lay on, and it pulses and vibrates your back. It's almost like a massage, but then they also put on like noise canceling headphones, and they play sounds that also go with that. Now it's meant for like pain relief and that sort of thing, but it's also for when you want to meditate. And what I've realized is that the sit still and meditate method doesn't work for me. I have to have some kind of external stimulus. And I found that through riding my motorcycle. I love that. I go into a kind of a hyper awareness mode that feels meditation. Drawing, I do a lot of line drawing stuff that's really complex, and it puts me in hyper focus, and I'm able to meditate that way. It's like getting into the zone. But this vibroacoustic therapy thing, it cost me like $40 for half an hour. And I laid down, and at first it was nothing. And in this video, I'm going to share with you my experience and a really interesting awakening that happened. And I want you to comment down below if you've had similar experiences, what your thoughts are. Because ultimately, I want to find out the truth about myself and how I best communicate and figure out how I can best impact the world, and more specifically, how I can help guide people to their greater awareness and to whatever their goals are. And so for me, in a professional capacity, that's always been consulting and that sort of thing, and sharing my marketing wisdom. But I really am curious as to how I'll be able to apply what I'm learning about myself to my daily work. And this should be interesting. Suffice to say, it's about to get deep. First, I felt nothing, but very quickly, everything faded away. Gone were the vibrations and the sound, and it was all replaced with darkness. And then a blinding light. It was a flash. And then out of the blue came an awe-inspiring pyramid, golden, shining, and at its center, a piercing blue eye. It wasn't just looking at me, it was looking through me, beyond me, at everything and nothing all at once. Energy, like flowing streams of data, moved freely in, out, and around it, and I was drawn to its warmth. And then I realized this all-seeing eye, this vast knowing, wasn't something outside of me. It was me. I see beyond the surface. I naturally process vast amounts of information and have a structured way of understanding the world. The all-seeing eye is a symbol of perception, awareness, and insight, just like my mind. I don't take things at face value. I see through them. I see a deeper meaning. I notice hidden patterns and the truths that lie beneath the obvious. I'm the observer. My mind takes in the world visually, connecting meaning through symbols, patterns, imagery. I don't just see, I witness. I perceive things, especially problems, from a higher vantage point. I'm always aware of the grander picture. The all-seeing eye reflects my ability to observe without bias, to track movements unseen by others. and I guide others through my vision. I believe that I'm here to provide direction. It's my purpose to show people where to look, how to navigate, and what path will take them forward. The all-seeing eye is more than a symbol. It's my purpose. I illuminate, clarify, and guide. My presence naturally helps others recognize truths that they might otherwise miss. I absorb and I synthesize multiple perspectives. You see, I don't just think in one singular stream. I take in many views, many perspectives, and many realities all at once. My mind constantly connects different pieces of information into something whole and cohesive. The all-seeing eye mirrors this ability. It's the power to hold and integrate vast awareness effortlessly. I see beyond illusions. Emotions run deep within me, but they don't control me. Instead, I've learned to see through them, to recognize what's real and what's disoriented, and what is simply passing energy, and whether or not that energy is in fact mine. The all-seeing eye doesn't react. It perceives. It watches without attachment, discerning truth from illusion. And so do I. I am a messenger of truth. I'm here to transmit wisdom. I take what's complex and I decode it, and then I deliver it in a way that transforms understanding. The all-seeing eye represents this ability to interpret, to teach, to be the voice of knowing. What I share opens doors for others, allowing them to see what they couldn't before. I open paths that were previously not just blocked, but completely unknown. I'm the witness and the knower. I see beyond what is spoken. I read between the lines, absorbing wisdom not just through words, but through the unspoken. The all-seeing eye reflects this. It listens, it watches, it understands, and it remembers. I have an innate ability to recognize truth the moment I encounter it. My intuition isn't logical, it's instant, undeniable knowing, just like the unwavering gaze of the all-seeing eye. My awareness is always present, piercing through distractions and distortions. It's a hyper-vigilant focus that I couldn't get away from if I wanted to. Creativity, now that's interesting. It flows through me. My mind isn't designed to just see. It's designed to create, to shape, to guide. I don't just witness the world. I influence it, directing energy, crafting visions, leading with clarity. I am the eye. The all-seeing eye is not just a symbol that I'm drawn to. It's an external representation of how my mind works. It mirrors my ability to see beyond the obvious, my structured way of processing information, and my role as a guide in helping other people navigate life. It represents and mirrors my natural attunement to deeper truths. This wasn't just a vision and a meditation, it was an awakening. I don't just like the all-seeing eye. I'm not just drawn to it. I am the all-seeing eye.